What's going on? Tonight's video is going to be about the March on Washington. 57 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King and other greats, important civil rights leaders were there. So we're there nearly 60 years later, still fighting for the same justice, same causes, police brutality, systematic and institutionalized racism, fighting up against powers that be. People who would rather look the other way and live with the virus. They would rather cough and sneeze and take in that phlegm and all those mucus of hate than to make changes. This march today reflects the old, the middle, and the young, and the younger generation. It's asking and it's telling you that you're going to have to recognize the days of taking a pat on the head and a cookie and milk and looking the other way are gone. You don't have the luxury of ignoring over 400 years of injustice, of pain, of neglect, of second-class citizenship, which has a blue wall called the police, FBI, CIA, government, NRA, all of them. Racism, corruption, big corporation. When you march, you're making changes. When you represent, you're making changes. You don't have to be black to be aware. And you don't have to be black to care. However, it's important to know who you are. That's a reflection. And one thing is for sure, no matter what your background is, you got a record. You're going to have to recognize and represent. And it ain't about anybody begging and crying about nothing, because people can do for do. However, it's about taking a stand against police brutality, against racial systematic injustice. And I'm going to tell you something, it's beyond the racist rhetoric of Donald J. Trump. It's the racist rhetoric that's passed down like a recipe to generations who don't understand the ramifications and have felt privileged. See? We got to go to tell them driving while black. We got to tell them voting while black. We got to tell them education while black. We got to tell them housing discrimination while black. Bank loans while black. Everything you can imagine. And then some. And crystallize, there's nothing to romanticize. You have to be 100% with it. And the fight is real. And there's no letting up. You have to stand for it. You have to feel the energy of it. The March on Washington is a march of every day. Your backyard is Washington. Your state, your place. When you see injustice, question it all. Question authority all the time. Because this getting over and looking the other way, gots to go. Your voting rights, your civil rights, your human rights, you got to make a choice. So I'm going to tell you, no matter what your age or background, you have to make a stand. If you want a better day, if you truly believe in freedom, and not just in lip service, but you truly feel the oppression. But black folks got to go through, systematically institutionalized. How many more bullets? How many more beatdowns? How many more rejections? How many more looking the other way? How many more second-class citizenship treatment? How many more? That was then, and yet the then It's still the now. Founding forefathers who neglected their black responsibility. America does owe. Beyond reparations, there's a thing called respect. And when you march, our ancestors and people who bled and fought from all of it to get to this day, so the next generation doesn't have to pay the same. However, it's still spilling over because America would rather tolerate a virus and live in sickness than to be in good health. And if you want this country to be shook and took and have some responsibility, you got to shake them up. That's my thoughts and takes about the March on Washington and beyond. Hit that like and subscribe. Let's discuss this. Hit that like and subscribe. When the bell rings, a new video. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for one another. And it starts. And it ain't over. We ain't over.